Okay, you're ready for the Chapter 12 test here. We're going to do all of this online. If you want to do it on paper, it's going to be a lot harder, or if you want to do this in Excel on your own, feel free to do either or, but this will be the fastest way to get you through the test. First thing we're going to do is we're going to download the file that coordinates with this test. This will be posted on the calendar. And again, watch this video, the test video, and pause it to complete each of the steps and maybe refer back to it. You may use your book for this test, and I've included page numbers as well. Alright, this is to be done on your own. So the Excel spreadsheet, once you download it, it's going to look like this. I have sales journal, purchases journal. Here's my sales journal. Here's my purchases journal, my general journal, cash receipts journal, cash payments journal. These 5 journals here are the ones that we're going to obtain our transactions, or we're going to record our transactions on, and we're going to take this information and record it to our ledgers. You then have your general ledger. Now let me just go through the general ledger. I've set all of this up for you. Any asset account is in yellow. Any liability account is in orange. Owner's equity accounts are in blue. Revenue accounts or sales are in red. Our purchases accounts or merchandise accounts are in green, 5,000, and any expenses are in purple, 6,000. So I've kind of organized it in this manner. I've already set up the formulas for you, so all you have to do is transfer the information from the journals to your ledgers. We also have 2 individual separate ledgers. We have the accounts payable ledger. These are your subsidiary accounts, or all of the vendors that you purchase merchandise from. We owe money to them. Currently, this is the amount in each vendor that we owe money to. And then we have our accounts receivable account ledger, which are our customers, and they have purchased merchandise from us on account. You should know that. These are the balances right now. You notice that Alan Stewart has a 0 balance. Finally, you have your accounts payable schedule, and finally your accounts receivable schedule. I've already set up the formulas for you. All you're going to have to do is go in and fill out this information when the time comes. So let's go ahead and go to the first part of the test here. Post the transactions from the sales journal to the accounts receivable ledger accounts. So let's take a look at this. Here's our sales journal. We're going to take these 3 transactions, John Falk, Alan Stewart, Linda Kerrigan. Again, notice this is on page 285 to refer to. And we're going to post just the accounts receivable debit into the individual accounts receivable accounts. And this is accounts receivable because this is in the sales journal. We sold something on account to our customers here. Again, you only need to record these amounts. Again, if we look at the sales journal, this is accounts receivable debit. So we go to accounts receivable ledger. We're going to record those amounts in here. Again, notice that it changes automatically. If any time you see the pound signs, you need to come up here to the top and make it bigger so that it fits. So you're going to record those 3 transactions in the debit columns and watch the totals change. That's it for this. In the sales journal, you're probably wondering why we are not posting these amounts. That's because we're going to post the totals. These are just individuals, our customers, of what they owe us. So later on we will post the totals to these, and you're going to add those up on your own. Post the transactions from the purchases journal to the accounts payable ledger account. So let's go over to the purchases journal. It's the next one here. And purchases is debit, accounts payable is credit. So we're going to go over to our accounts payable ledger, and we're going to record these amounts as credits in our ledger. Notice they all carry a credit balance. That's the normal credit balance for any liability. And again, notice if we put an amount here, your totals are going to change. So you need to post those totals from the purchases journal into your individual accounts payable ledger accounts. Step 3, post the general journal transaction to the general ledger. This is on page 279. If we look at the general journal, We have 2 accounts affected. Carl Jansen drawing, debit of $165.60. So we're going to have to go to the general ledger. Here it is. And we're going to put the debit amount here and watch the total. Again, make sure that you put the date and the post reference number here. We go back to the general journal. We're going to record $165.60 in our purchases ledger. So we need to go over to the general ledger again. We're going to come down to purchases, and we're going to record the credit. I'm sorry. Yeah, the credit right here. Make sure we put the post reference number, which is the, I'm sorry, not here, the post reference number. Yeah, from here is G11, P11, S11. So that's it. Again, once we've done that, we need to put the account numbers of drawing. So we're going to put the number 3120, and the account number of purchases is 5110. Make sure that you have this information in there. Next step, post the transactions from the cash receipts journal to the accounts receivable ledger accounts. So we're going to go to the cash receipts journal. These are the only 3 transactions that need to be recorded in the credit accounts of the accounts receivable ledger. And if we put in a credit, that means they have paid us, especially since it's from the cash receipts journal. We know we received cash from these 3 transactions. And actually, I forgot one here. This was John Falk. Okay. CR11. Just these amounts. We're going to record the totals of these 3 columns. So just the accounts receivable credits in the cash payments journal go into the accounts receivable ledger in the credit amount. Again, that's going to subtract from our total of what they owe us. Make sure again you put the post reference of CR11, and then make sure we're putting the account numbers back into the cash receipts journal right here. So there should be one here, and one here. Finally, post the transactions from the cash payments journal to the general ledger. Again, page 278. Let's take a look at the cash payments journal. We're going to record just the general debit and the general credit columns into these appropriate ledger accounts. So let's take a look at those. And also, we need to record the accounts payable debit amounts, and this means that we paid these customers back. Okay, so these need to go in the accounts payable ledger in the debit side, meaning that we paid them back to our vendor. But again, also we need to record these amounts, just $1,500 debit into rent expense, $207.60 into utilities expense, $1,200 into drawing, $1,200 into drawing. Making sure that, again, you're putting CP15 in your post-reference boxes, and then also coming back and putting the account numbers in the journal right here to prove that we posted this. And again, we're going to post the total of cash here at the end. So that takes care of the first step. This shouldn't take you too long to get through this, and the next thing we'll do will be to go to this. Okay, posting from the sales journal, the totals from the sales journal. This is on page 296. We're going to post just the special amount columns of the sales journal. So let's go over to the sales journal. Now you need to put a formula in, which I've shown you how to do, in order to obtain these totals. Now once you've done this, you're going to want to turn to page 296, just like I had mentioned, to record those totals. Now I've already single ruled and I've already double ruled for you, but what you don't want to forget is to come back once you've posted this, come back and put parentheses in the sales journal of the account that you recorded it to. Again, if it's not big enough, now I've formatted this for numbers or counting already, so I need to format this and change it to number general. Okay, and even just putting that, I think if you put it in parentheses, it's going to turn it to a negative. So why don't we just put this, and let's put these all for general. Let's center them, let's bold them, and then let's put a shading on it of some sort so that we know that we posted these totals to the specific ledgers. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to post from the purchases journal on page 297. This only affects 2 accounts in the ledgers. Again, purchases debit, accounts payable credit. Again, the single and double rules are already set up for you, so all you have to do is put the formula in to total these up. But once you post the ledger totals, again, let's go ahead and make this bold, center it, and let's put in the 2 accounts that are affected, purchases. And the purchases account number is 5110. Let's put a backslash, and accounts payable is account number 2110. There. We're going to have to format this again as general. So 51 and 2110. There we go. So again, you're going to have to change maybe the type of number that you're using to this. Don't use parentheses. It'll put it as a negative. So post the totals to those 2. Again on page 297. Cash receipts journal, page 298. Post the totals for this. Here's our cash receipts journal. I've already put the formulas for these in there for you, but you need to put the totals formula in there to total these up. Again, let's go ahead and select all these. Let's put general. Let's bold it, shade it, center it. Accounts receivable. This is 1130. Sales is 4110. Sales tax payable is a liability, just 2120. And finally, cash is 1110. So it should look something like this when you're finished. Again, this is after you've posted the totals to those general ledger accounts. Finally, cash payments. We're going to do the same thing, except this is on page 300. Go to the cash payments journal. Now, we don't need to post the general debit and credit columns. We've already done this individually. So we need to post the accounts payable and the cash to the general ledger. Again, this is the cash payments journal. Again, do something like this, bold, center it, make sure it's a general number. Same thing here, you could use Format Painter and do it that way. Okay, accounts payable is liability 2110. Cash is, okay, so it should look something like this. Actually, these will go down here. Alright. So make sure that you total these up using a formula. You can use the auto sum formula, and then come back once you've posted the totals to the general ledger. Make sure you have the account number in here. Finally, we're going to prepare a schedule of accounts on page 281 and 289, and what that is the totals from each of our accounts in the accounts payable, and the totals from all of our accounts receivable, all of our customers that owe us money. That should take care of test chapter 12. I am not going to help you on this test. You have the page numbers. I've gone over this with you. You have the file already set up for you. All you need to do is just go in and make those changes. Posting from the journals to the ledgers, and then the totals from the journals to the ledgers.